Okay, so no Submariner. And I'm going to give you the 10 reasons. And remember, this is coming from somebody who loves Rolex, who had Rolex watches for 40 years, a bunch of different sport watches. I did have a Submariner at one point. I usually had the GMT2, was usually my go-to sport watch, because I'm not really a diver and I like that extra time zone. But GMT2, Submariner, they can kind of be lumped into the same category of sport watch, if you will. And so I'm going to give you the 10 reasons. I'm going to go into the 10 reasons why right now, today, you should not buy a Submariner, and instead you should buy the Grand Seiko diver that I have on my wrist right here. And I've done a bunch of videos about this watch. Check them out. But this is going to be the 10 reasons after 5 months of owning this watch. These are my conclusions based on daily use and everything I know about both Rolex and Grand Seiko now. This is the 10 reasons. So pay attention and take notes. And let me get my little spectacles here, because again, my 60-year-old eyes aren't the best. So, as far as reading goes. So 10 reasons. Number one, $8,500 list price on the Submariner date as of now. But you can't even buy them. They're not even available. You go into a Rolex AD and they're not even going to have any in their case. So you have to buy them aftermarket, and if you buy one in new condition with box and papers and all, you're probably going to pay 10 grand, maybe even more. Okay, so think about that price as I go down this list. Ugly lugs on the newer case. This new maxi case, or whatever the heck they're calling it, is just ugly. They really took a beautiful case that was the Submariner and for no apparent reason put those chunky lugs on it that make the 20 millimeter diameter, anyway, the wide, 20 millimeter wide bracelet look even smaller. And it just ruined the looks of the watch, if you ask me. Number three, 40 millimeters means that it has a relatively small dial by today's standards. And let me give you an idea. This Snowflake is 41 millimeters. And because the bezel is so small, the face on this, the dial, is actually the same size as the dial on this 44 millimeter Grand Seiko diver. Now, when you go down to a 40 millimeter Rolex Submariner, because of the bezel and everything, the dial is smaller still than if you bought, like, for example, a 41 millimeter Datejust. So you're not really getting that much dial real estate for the wrist real estate that the watch is taking up. So 40 millimeter means small dial. That's number three. Number four, not accurate. I love a watch that's accurate. I even wore the Apple Watch for a couple of years because of this. I actually got rid of my SBDC 007, which I really enjoyed that watch because it wasn't accurate enough. I've solved that problem with the Spring Drive. This watch, after almost 5 months, is within a second or two. Love that. Don't have to worry about checking to see if my watch is accurate or not. And only time I have to unscrew the crown is when there's less than 31 days in a month to do the quick change on the month. And I don't have to recalibrate the time and make sure that the second hand is in calibration with the minute hand. You know how you like it when it's straight up at noon? You like the minute hand to be right in sync with the second hand. You don't have to go through all of that messing around because the watch is just accurate. So that's a big deal. Less comfortable on the wrist. After all, this is a wristwatch. We wear these watches on the wrist. I want it to be comfortable. This diver is exceptionally comfortable because of the flexibility in the bracelet, because of the titanium, the fact that it's lighter weight, and plus the titanium is just somehow is just more comfortable on the skin. Some people say they have allergies to the stainless. There's other things about thermal properties, but whatever it is, it's just more comfortable on the wrist. Trust me, I've worn stainless steel watches, and I've worn titanium watches. I wore the SBDC 007 for like 2 years. Trust me, they are more comfortable on the wrist. Okay, and by the way, this titanium alloy is less prone to scratching. Everybody says they scratch. No, they don't. It's less prone to scratching than the stainless steel. It's actually harder than the stainless steel, 1.5 times harder. Okay, not a rare watch. The Submariner, let's face it, a lot of people have them. It's not that special. It's expensive, but still there's a lot of them around. They do make a lot of them, even though they're not in the dealer's window right now. They're selling them every time. As soon as they come in, they sell it. It's a high production watch, and so it's not that special. So the Grand Seiko has the nod there, where it's just something about it. It's just special. It's harder to get. There aren't as many dealers, and you have to kind of know about them and so on. So there's kind of a little specialty there. Number 7, we're down to number 7. No silky smooth secondhand on the Submariner. Oh my gosh, just looking at this secondhand just glide around, it's just mesmerizing on the Spring Drive. It's just, you have to see it to understand. It's just mesmerizing. Then when you add to that the quality of the dial and the detail and just the whole look and quality of the watch, it's just amazing. It just takes it all to another level. Rolex is a fantastic watch. I've loved Rolexes for, like I say, I've had them for 40 years, but this just takes it to another level. And I'm not saying buying a Rolex is a bad thing. They're great watches. This just is a whole nother thing. Number 8, can't adjust the bracelet on the wrist. I don't want to take my watch off my wrist if I have to do a quick little adjustment that you risk dropping it. If you're on a boat or something or whatever, you might want to do a quick adjustment. It's nice to be able to do it without taking the watch off the wrist. So for example, right now, let's say I feel this is a little bit tight. I just pull this up. There, I just let it out just a little bit right here and got a little bit of extra slack in the wrist. Then if I want to put it back in, I just push this, just click, it clicks one click at a time. I just push it right on back in. And there we go, tightened it right back up. Just very quick and easy to do a quick little adjustment. By the way, when I first got the watch, I really didn't like this clasp that much. I thought it was kind of bulky and so on, but I've gotten used to it and I really love it. It's quick and easy to take the watch on and off. Let me take it off right now. Quick and easy to take it on and off. I'll put the Snowflake on. And the Snowflake, by the way, has a nice, elegant clasp, but it doesn't have the quick adjustment feature, which this time of the year, when the weather's changing, that comes in really handy. And also, by the way, the diver has the, I think it's four position, quick adjustments on the clasp with your spring tool where you can adjust it, in and out for the change of the seasons, in addition to that quick adjustment. So that's a really big thing. Stainless steel, I touched on this earlier, stainless steel is not the best material to make a watch out of. It's really not. It's a material to make watches that are affordable out of, but when you get to a high-end watch where you're spending $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, that's a lot of money to spend for a watch made out of a material that's really, really better suited for affordable watches. Why do you think back in the day any kind of high-end watch was usually made out of gold? Okay, there was a reason for it. It's easier on the skin. It's just a better material for making a watch. Now we have this high-end titanium alloy that you have all the benefits of gold in that it doesn't irritate the skin. It doesn't have any properties in it that would cause problems with your skin. Plus, it's more comfortable because of the lightweight. Plus, it's very durable. It's more durable than the stainless steel. So we've got all these advantages with this high-end material, this titanium alloy that they're using. Now, Rolex really can't use this because it's not easy to work with in a high volume, high production operation where they make a lot of watches. It's harder to work with. This is all polished by hand. There's a lot of hand detail work that goes into this. And Rolex just can't do all that on each watch because they make too many of them. They couldn't hire enough people to do all that hand work. So that's a reason why they have to kind of stick with stainless steel. But it's not the best material for a high-end watch. Okay, 2-for-1 deal. This is really cool. Think about it. If you got to spend about $10,000 to get a Submariner, in today's market, if you are smart, you should be able to buy both the Grand Seiko Snowflake, this iconic watch, and this titanium diver watch for around the same amount of money, right around $10,000, maybe a little more. On the used market, you know, for one that's in like mint condition. I wouldn't buy anything before the 217 model, the 2017 model, because I like the newer dial with the Grand Seiko at the top. So buy one from 2017 on. If you are a little bit shrewd, you will probably be able to get both of these watches for the price of the Submariner. Think about that. Think about that. So, bonus reason, no power indicator on the Rolex. If you go for the 2-for-1 deal and you're rotating watches, and I've done this for many, many years, I've always had 2 watches, usually the gold Rolex, the day-date, and then a sport watch, usually also a Rolex, that I've been rotating because you don't want to wear the precious metal watch all the time. And so you try to keep them both running. I don't like to use watch winders. And so you're kind of switching off the watches, but you don't really know if one's getting kind of low on power reserve because there's no indicator. So if you're doing a 2-watch rotation, having that power indicator is really convenient. And then, of course, the Spring Drive is more efficient on winding with wrist movement. It takes less wrist movement to wind it, and it has a very long power reserve, 72-hour power reserve. So it's real easy to keep 2 of these running all the time. And again, having that power indicator is a big plus. Now, if you're trying to rotate 2 Rolexes, you got a double whammy there. You don't have the power indicator, plus it takes more wrist time, more movement to keep those watches running. From time to time, my day-date would stop because I just wasn't wearing it enough, and I didn't know. I didn't have an indicator. And then once it stops, of course, you've got to wind it up. You've got to recalibrate the time, make sure the second hand's in calibration with the minute hand, and go through all that nonsense. With these, no problem. They just go for months and months and months. I don't have to do anything. They just run. They just work. And so those are my 10 reasons. Now, a couple of reasons why you would want to go with the Rolex instead. One, you just really like the name, and I respect that. 2, I do like the fact that it's got gold hands and indicators on the dial and all. In rare instances, there have been times when the hands or the 5-minute indicators on some of the Grand Seikos have become corroded. Usually the watch has been exposed to moisture, bad seals, whatever. It's not a common occurrence, it's a rare occurrence, but still I do like the fact that Rolex is using white gold on the hands on the Submariner and those indicators. So little things like that, they do have an edge with Grand Seiko. But Grand Seiko has so many other advantages. I mean, you have to really dig to try to find an advantage at this point in the game that Rolex has. You got to kind of stretch. So I think the main reason you would still buy a Rolex really is the name. And they've worked very hard to make that name what it is today. So here comes a phone call coming in. I'll let that go into messages. So I think that on balance, what really gives the Grand Seiko the edge at this point in time is the price situation. That's the big factor, because think about it, some years ago you could get a 20% discount on a steel Rolex. Wasn't uncommon at all. Now, instead of getting a discount, you're paying a premium if you're not lucky enough to get one from an AD new at list price. So it's gone the other way. So an already expensive watch has gotten more expensive because of the premium that you have to pay. And you know, you're paying a premium and you're not even the original buyer. You don't even get the benefits of being the original buyer, having your name on the paperwork and all that good stuff. So I think that, to me, that really is what pushes it over the edge to where I wouldn't even consider buying a new Submariner at this point in time. Now, once things settle down and the supply chain gets more aligned with demand and we're back to where you can get some kind of a discount on them, or you can just easily buy them for list brand new, then things start to change a little bit. But right now, the way things stand, with all of these reasons, I don't see a valid argument, reason, a real reasoned reason to still buy that Submariner. I would go for the Grand Seiko diver every time. This is just a fantastic, I mean, I'm telling you, fantastic timepiece. So as Archie Luxury would say, let me know what you think about that. And please, if you like this video, do like, comment, and share it, because the only reason I'm doing these follow-up videos is because people have asked me to. I didn't know that people really cared about what I say about watches. Why would they care, right? But people have actually straight up asked me to continue to do these watch-related videos, and so that's why I'm doing them. So as long as you all keep sharing them around and they keep getting views and so forth, I'll keep doing them. So again, thank you very much. Like, comment, share, click on the little bell. And when you get notifications of my other videos, this isn't the main thing I do on my YouTube channel, by the way. I do a lot of other videos for businesses and different things. That's how I pay the bills. But anyway, when you get a notification on some video that's not watch related, just ignore it, right? If you only care about the watch ones. But when the watch ones come through, then you can watch them. So that's where we are. And by the way, I will see you if you come. I'll see you at Little Treasury Jewelers at his watch event that he's having on the 19th and 20th of this month, October. I will be there on the 19th from 3 to 8 p.m. And I'm not sure about the 20th. I got a car show in Rockville that I'll probably be going to if the weather's nice. But I'll definitely be there that Friday, the 19th, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that's going to be a really fun event. He's going to have all kinds of watches there and different people from different manufacturers and so on. It's just going to be a fun event, and I can't wait to see his new Grand Seiko displays. He's debuting a whole new Grand Seiko display, and so I'm going to be shooting some videos there, hopefully. So again, thanks for watching. Hey, subscribe, all those good things. And tell me what you think about this. Shout out to Archie Luxury. Wild guy. Carry on, everybody.
If you enjoy local content like this, please like, comment, and share this video. If you own a local business, please join us.